Thank you.
You look good too. I thought your roast was very funny, by the way. I'm sure you get people bringing it up to you a lot.
It went well, actually, and I was telling everybody, I asked you to be on the roast. I had no idea what the roast entailed. You were going to do it, but you were on vacation.
Yeah, I went on vacation.
Would you have done it? You knew what the roast was.
Oh, yeah, I posted like 3 of those.
Oh, you have? Yeah. I haven't seen, I've never seen it.
I can't believe you got into that without knowing. Actually, I can believe you got into that without knowing what it was. Which of your many jobs were you doing today? Were you teaching or
I was
acting or what?
teaching. I'm in Vancouver right now, but I fly back once a week to teach.
That's unbelievable. And do the students, is it a very popular class? Is it hard to get in?
I think it is hard to get in. I don't have anything to do with the admissions policy, but it's like, it's a graduate class, and it's not like, tons of screaming kids or something like outside class.
Yeah, it's not like a huge, economics class.
They're pretty accomplished students that, if they're in that program.
Do they call you Mr. Franco or Mr. F or James, or is it formal?
No, I'm pretty relaxed. I mean, I teach a graduate film class at UCLA. I teach a screenwriting class at UCLA. It's actually really great. I do a screenwriting class, but I hate screenwriting classes where you just write the screenplays and that's it. You just put them in a drawer. Like, a screenplay is not the final thing. The final thing is the movie, right?
Right.
So I have them adapt novels, like famous movies. So The Godfather book, Jaws, Psycho, The Graduate, whatever. They bring in the scenes, and then I have actors, and so we film it in class. And then I have a switcher. I have 4 cameras going in class. And I have a switcher, and we cut them all together.
You do it almost live, like a television show?
It's actually super fun.
Oh, that does sound like a lot of fun.
And we might even put it on TV.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I have my own show coming up.
Oh, you do? I didn't know this. What do you mean, more work?
I mean, it's just kind of like my little artsy stuff.
I also just read that you're going to be on Broadway, too. You announced that last night, right? Are there many James Francos, like Santa Claus? Do you have helpers that work with you?
No, I'm a robot.
Yeah, they really do a lot of things. It really is, do you grade the students' work yourself? Are you really genuinely teaching the class?
I do have to grade them, but, it's a creative program, so, most of them get A's.
Most of them get A's.
If they show up, they're all good. So, but all right. So we're talking about class. You were kind enough to act in one of my graduate students' short films.
I think acting is a generous
no, you were really good. Opposite Kristen Wiig. We have the clip.
Well, hold on. Let me
in the booth. Ready to be played.
Let me go back a step, though.
Jimmy is too shy to show it to all of you.
It doesn't make sense to anybody. But I want to say this. You were on the show and you asked me if I would do it, and I said, yeah, all right, I'll do it.
2 lines, they're going to love it.
I know, but listen, though, I want to just point something out.
He's not showing it.
I want to just...
We have it here, ready to be shown. And he's not showing it.
So you were on the show, and you asked me to do this, and I said, yeah, all right. I said, are the students okay with the fact that I cannot act?
No,
and you said,
can.
Don't worry about it. I said, what about memorizing lines? I'm not good at that kind of thing. You said, don't worry, you go improv it. So I get to the set, or it's outdoors.
Were you nervous?
I wasn't nervous until they said, okay, you have your lines memorized? And I said, no, I was told that we were improving this.
Oh.
And then Kristen knew all her lines. I didn't know any of my lines.
Okay.
So then I had to try to learn my lines.
That's why you look so sweaty on
That's why I was so sweaty, yeah. And I really felt bad for everyone involved.
Why don't you show everybody?
I felt bad for
Kristen. You can't tell that you didn't know your lines. I guess somebody was feeding it to you.
No, I remembered them like one by one. And
you gotta play it.
All right.
Do you want to play it?
What is that? Look at that! Towering home run!
All right, well, we're going to sell that movie. I got Kristen Wiig in that movie. I got Natalie Portman in the movie.
We will then show it. And then we'll explain it properly. It doesn't make any sense otherwise.
All right, fine. Well, if you're in one of my classes, this is the caliber of actor you get.
Yeah, exactly. You will get a very low caliber actor. This is your book.
Also, I mean, can I talk about something?
Yeah,
well, I'm also going to do. So I teach at UCLA and USC and Cal Arts, but I'm going to do an online filmmaking class.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
that's one of the reasons I wanted to show it, to kind of show the caliber of people I get on.
So people can actually attend your class wherever they live in the world.
You know, those are like UCLA and USC are like two of the best film schools in the world, and it's hard to get in. It's expensive, so I like the idea of also teaching people that they can't afford that or can't get in.
It will be low cost or for free type of thing.
It certainly won't be the same amount as going to USC.
Oh well, why don't you do it for free?
I'll tell you why. I'm not making money off of it. I'll tell you why I don't do it for free, because it helps pay for the kinds of classes we do.
Do you get paid as a teacher, or do you not?
I do, but I put it all into the classes.
Oh, you do? Yeah, you do a lot of work. I am impressed by it. I just want no part of it. I don't want to do work for free. I don't believe in education. I dropped out of college and still got a doctorate from my old school. You understand? I have a different philosophy.
Giving them away everything.
We come back. I want to ask you about this book because I think it's very interesting. Like everything you do, it's very interesting. James Franco is here. This is his book, Actors Anonymous.
The Jimmy Kimmel Live Concert Series is brought to you by Sony.
But I got your nickname, Foxy.
Guys are always hitting on me. Wrong. It's Sting.
Sting. Your nickname is Sting?
I better know your nickname. Chip? Dale? Chippendale?
What?
Never mind.
See, that's not acting, that's eating.
I don't like that. They put that. You're great in that. I don't know why you're saying that. They killed that joke. Because they say Chippendale. It doesn't make sense to me. It's in voiceover.
Right.
She should give you a better nickname than Chippendale. Sounds like a stripper or something.
Well, give your students a bad grade. I don't know.
Don't worry, I'm going to change that right now. That guy got an F.
I want to ask you about this book because this is your first novel, and yet it's not a typical novel in that it's a mixture of things. And at the beginning and the end of the book, you make a series of statements. I don't know if the statements are being made by you or if they're being made by a character or read some of the statements.
So it's based on, the structure is based on like a recovery book, like Alcoholics Anonymous.
Okay.
But not because I think acting is an addiction. It's more looking at in like a recovery program, once you get over an addiction, it's sort of like looking at your life to see what led to the addiction. And so it's looking at acting as, specifically as acting, and I'm an actor in Hollywood, and looking at all the specifics of that, but also being able to kind of extrapolate it from that and say, well, when you're just interacting with other actors in an imaginary circumstance. Well, it's not that big of a leap to say, well, life is just interacting with other people in the world. So it's looking at acting as a kind of way of looking at life.
I have no idea what you're saying, right?
So you can see here, there's like a list of statements. Some of the chapters are lists of statements. And I feel like...
You made a lot of statements. You said like one of the
but
statements...
It's a book of fiction. So
I was alive when Shakespeare wrote all that crap. You said.
Obviously, that's not true. So it's a way of saying...
You say Andy Kaufman was the greatest.
I think he's one of the greatest.
So that is...
I agree with that one.
I agree with it too.
But the Shakespeare one is a way of saying, earlier in the chapter it says, I am all actors. So it's just a way of kind of coming up with this persona who's identifying with all
I am music, and I write the songs that make the whole world sing.
Sort of.
I write the songs of love and special things.
Sort of.
Interesting. You say when they get older, some actors that were once respected become clowns. Is that true?
Sort of.
Yeah. Quentin Tarantino's best films are Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. They had heart and soul. His new movies are fantasies. He's an authority on the LA underworld and B-movies. Somewhere along the way, his characters became their dialogue and lost some of their heart. Now, is that true, or is that...
I wouldn't say like that's fully me, but I'd say that there's something to. I mean, I love Django, so I wouldn't say that's completely true or I believe that, but you could say with Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction that there was a real soul there, and then in some of the others, it's like he got into the grindhouse thing, and that kind of became primary for a little while, but.
Do you think any of these
Django has heart.
Are these guys going to be mad at you for any of these things? Or will you be able? Do you care?
It's like a character. Like in his movie, in Tarantino's movies, his characters have opinions about movies. Whether those are Tarantino's opinions or not, I don't know. And I don't know if I'd necessarily be mad if one of his characters.
Well, let's find out. Quentin? No. If I thought I had that, would have been good. But well, it's a very interesting.
That's basically doing what he does in his movies. You know what I mean? He talks about movies all the time.
Explain it to him. Explain it to him.
You asked. You asked.
It's called Actors Anonymous. You can get it now. James Franco, everybody.